Welcome to our channel. We are so glad you're here. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe, like, and share it with someone who might need a little guidance or encouragement today. It means a lot and helps us keep bringing you content that supports your journey in this chapter of life. Let me ask you something. Have you ever sat at the kitchen table with a cup of tea, staring out the window, wondering if you've truly secured your future? Not just financially, but in terms of freedom. Freedom from worry, freedom from depending on others, freedom to do what you want, when you want. Retirement is supposed to be that golden season, right? But for so many people, it can come with questions that feel more like heavy shadows. Will I have enough? What happens if I live longer than expected? Will I be a burden? These thoughts are more common than you think. And today, I want to talk about something that may not just ease those worries, but completely change the way you look at retirement. It's not about working more. It's not about downsizing your dreams. It's about something that's been creating wealth for generations, and yet many people overlook it until it's too late. I'm talking about real estate. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Real estate, at my age, isn't that risky? Doesn't it require a lot of money, time, and energy? But here's the truth. Real estate is not just for the young or the wealthy. It is one of the most powerful tools to build lasting security, and it can be surprisingly accessible even if you are starting after 60. You see, the beauty of real estate is that it works quietly. It doesn't shout like the stock market. It doesn't swing wildly. It grows slowly, steadily, like a tree you plant and water each day. And before you know it, that tree gives shade, gives fruit, and becomes something your family can count on for years. Let me share a little story. There's a gentleman I met not too long ago. Name was Carl. He was 67 when he bought his first small duplex. He had just retired from a 35-year job and wasn't sure what to do with the lump sum he received from his retirement fund. Stocks made him nervous, and savings accounts weren't offering much. So, after a bit of learning and some hand-holding from a local agent, Carl took the leap. That duplex brought him in more income than he expected. Rent from 2 units gave him the flexibility to travel, pay for his medications, and even help his granddaughter with college. The best part? The property went up in value over time, and today, at 74, Carl owns 2 more properties and says he sleeps better at night than he ever did when he was working full-time. Carl is not an exception. He is proof that real estate can still work for you, even if you start later in life. Let's talk about why that happens. One of the biggest reasons is cash flow. Rental income gives you money coming in every single month, often enough to cover your living expenses and then some. And here's what's special about it. That income is more predictable than a stock dividend or market return. People will always need a place to live. Whether it's a single-family home, a small apartment, or a vacation rental, housing is one of the most essential needs people have. Then there's appreciation. Over time, real estate tends to go up in value. It may not happen overnight, but if you hold on to a property for a few years, chances are it will be worth more than when you bought it. And that difference, that gain, is something you can use to fund your later years or leave behind as a legacy. And of course, owning a property comes with certain tax benefits. Now, I won't go into all the legal speak here, but just know that there are often deductions and advantages available to real estate owners, which can mean more money in your pocket at the end of the year. Now, I understand the hesitation. Maybe you're wondering how you'd even begin. What if you don't have a huge savings account? What if you don't want the hassle of managing tenants or fixing leaky faucets? The good news is, there are many ways to get involved that match your comfort level. You could start small. A condo, a one-bedroom rental, or partner with a trusted friend or family member. You could even look into hiring a property manager, someone who takes care of the day-to-day tasks while you enjoy the benefits. The key is to stop thinking of real estate as something meant for someone else. You are not too old, you are not too late. In fact, you may be right on time. With your wisdom, your discipline, and your patience, you are exactly the kind of person who can make real estate work beautifully. And here's the thing. Investing in real estate is not just about money. It's about peace of mind. It's about knowing that you have a tangible asset, something real, something that can provide, protect, and grow. It's about independence and having a choice in how you live the rest of your life. When you look at a home, a building, or even a piece of land, don't just see bricks or walls. See freedom. See opportunity. See the chance to build something that takes care of you, just like you've taken care of so many others in your life. So, if this idea sparks something in you, hold on to it. Keep it close, because it might just be the beginning of a beautiful new chapter. You might be wondering where to even begin. The idea of investing sounds nice, but real estate can feel like a big world with a lot of moving parts. That's completely understandable. The truth is, starting doesn't have to be overwhelming. It's all about taking the first step that fits your situation. One of the easiest ways to get your feet wet is by looking close to home. Maybe there's a small property for sale in your neighborhood. Something simple, like a one-bedroom apartment or a modest home in an up-and-coming area. You don't need to jump into a mansion or buy a whole building. Sometimes, the best investments are the ones that are small and manageable. If you're not looking to deal with tenants yourself, there are solutions for that too. Property managers are professionals who handle all the little details, finding renters, collecting payments, handling maintenance so you don't have to. Yes, they take a fee, but that fee buys you peace of mind. And at this stage of life, peace of mind is golden. Now, here's something many people overlook. You don't have to invest alone. In fact, more and more seniors are teaming up with their adult children, trusted friends, or even joining local real estate investment groups. Imagine splitting the cost of a property with your daughter or son, watching it grow together, and knowing that one day it'll benefit your whole family. Not only does this ease the financial pressure, but it creates a shared goal and an opportunity to pass down knowledge. There are even options like real estate investment trusts, sometimes called REITs, which allow you to invest in property without owning a building yourself. These work kind of like mutual funds. You pool your money with other investors and receive a share of the income generated by rental properties, hotels, or commercial spaces. This can be a low-hassle way to get started, especially if you're not ready to buy a physical property right now. And for those who already own their home, here's a powerful thought. That home you've lived in, cared for, and built memories in it can open doors. Some people choose to downsize and use the profit from the sale of their larger home to buy one or two smaller investment properties. Others tap into their home equity cautiously and wisely to finance their first rental. The home you live in is more than shelter. It can be your starting point toward a retirement with more financial breathing room. Let's talk for a moment about fear. Because it's real. The fear of making a mistake, the fear of losing money, or simply the fear of trying something new at this stage of life. I want to tell you this caution is wise, but fear that stops you from growing can quietly shrink your world. Yes, you'll want to do your research. Yes, you should talk to professionals. But don't let fear be the reason you never explore a powerful option that could support your independence and your dreams. Another important thing to remember is that real estate is flexible. It can bend and shift with your lifestyle. Some people buy a vacation home and rent it out when they're not using it. Others buy a duplex and live in one side while renting out the other. There are even seniors who turn part of their existing home a basement suite or guest house into a rental space. You don't always have to go far to find opportunity. Sometimes it's right where you are. Think about this. You've spent a lifetime building skills, managing a household, budgeting, solving problems, and navigating change. That experience puts you ahead of the game. Where others rush in with emotion, you move with intention. Where others might overlook the details, you know how to ask the right questions. Real estate isn't just a young person's world. It's for anyone who sees the value in long-term stability, especially during retirement. And while it may seem like the world of property is all business, there's actually something deeply personal about it. Owning a property you can touch, walk through, and know is yours creates a kind of pride. A connection. Something that stocks and bonds can't quite offer in the same way. It can even be fun. Decorating a unit, meeting tenants, watching your little investment grow over time. There's satisfaction in that. A kind of purpose that continues even after the work years are behind you. I once spoke to a woman named Ruth, who bought a small cottage near a local college when she was 62. She rented it out to students during the school year, and during summer, she used it as a little weekend getaway. Not only did she earn rental income, but she had a place to relax, reconnect with nature, and invite her grandchildren for sleepovers. That cottage became more than an investment. It became part of her story. So, if you've been sitting on the fence, wondering if it's too late or too complicated, I want to encourage you. Investing in real estate before or even during retirement is not just possible, it's powerful. It opens up choices, it creates steady income, and it provides the kind of foundation that helps you live not just longer, but better. Whether you start with a tiny rental or take the leap into something a little bigger, each step you take is one more toward a life of confidence and control. And after everything you've done for others over the years, you deserve that. Now, let's take a moment to talk about what all this really means, not just in numbers, but in how it shapes your everyday life. Because investing in real estate before retirement is not just about growing money. It's about giving yourself room to breathe. It's about knowing that no matter what happens to the market, your social security check, or your health, you have something solid under your feet. A well-placed rental property can mean an extra $500, $1,000, or even more dollars each month. That's not just income, that's freedom. Freedom to travel a little. To say yes to dinner with friends, to help a grandchild with school, or spoil yourself once in a while without guilt. It's financial stability that lets you sleep better at night and smile more during the day. And if you're someone who worries about becoming a burden on your children, real estate can help ease that fear. Imagine having an income stream that continues long after you stop working. Imagine being able to afford in-home care if you need it someday, or living in a place you love without having to downsize to something that doesn't feel like home. That kind of peace of mind isn't measured in square feet. It's measured in moments of comfort, dignity, and choice. Real estate can also be a legacy. A property you pass down to your children or grandchildren can be more than an inheritance. It can be a lesson, a message that says, I believed in the future. I built something, and now it's yours to continue. That kind of gift goes far beyond money. It carries meaning. It tells a story. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, what if something goes wrong? What if the tenants don't pay? What if the roof needs fixing? And those are fair questions. Every investment has risk. But here's the truth, does doing nothing, Inflation, rising costs, unexpected health expenses, these things can chip away at your savings. Playing it safe sometimes means standing still while life moves forward without you. The key is to take smart, careful steps. Talk to a local realtor who understands your needs. Speak with a financial advisor who respects your stage of life. Ask questions. Do the math. Learn what neighborhoods are growing and where demand is strong. Take your time. You're not rushing into anything. You're building something that fits who you are now and who you want to be later. And remember, you don't have to do it perfectly. There's no such thing as a perfect investment. What matters is that you begin, that you explore, that you allow yourself the possibility that something new, something different, might just be the thing that changes everything. I've seen seniors who were once hesitant become empowered landlords. I've seen people who thought they were too old find themselves learning, growing, and thriving through their first property. And I've seen real estate turn retirement from a time of limitation into a season of opportunity. So if you've ever felt stuck, unsure, or just tired of living month to month, consider what real estate might do for you. Not in 10 years, not for someone else, but for you right now. It could be a quiet studio near a park, a duplex in a growing town, a little beach place you rent half the year. It doesn't have to be big to make a big difference. There's a quiet strength in taking control of your future, in knowing that even in your later years, you are still building, still creating, still shaping your own path. That is what real estate can offer. Not just bricks and walls, but possibility, independence, and a renewed sense of purpose. You've worked hard. You've taken care of others. Now it's time to make sure your future takes care of you. Investing in real estate may not be the answer for everyone, but if it's something you've considered even for a moment, I hope this conversation gave you the encouragement you needed to explore it further. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever considered real estate before retirement? Do you have a story to share? Your experience could inspire someone else watching this video today. If you found this helpful, please give it a like and share it with a friend who might benefit. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Elderly Treasures for more uplifting and practical advice for your golden years. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. Remember, it's never too late to invest in yourself. Your best chapter could still be waiting to be written. Here's to strength, stability, and joy in every season of life. And that's the kind of mindset that changes lives. Now let's go just a little deeper, because maybe you're still wondering, what kind of real estate investment would actually make sense for someone like me? Let's talk about a few gentle entry points ways you can get started without turning your whole life upside down. One option is house hacking. It's a term people use for living in one part of a property while renting out the other. Think of a duplex or a small home with a basement apartment. You stay close, you're in control, and you get steady income. It's a smart way to reduce your own living costs while building equity at the same time. Another path is short-term rentals. If you have a guest room or a second property, you might consider listing it during peak seasons. Some seniors rent out a spare bedroom a few weekends a month or list their home while they're away visiting family. It's flexible, and it can be surprisingly fun. You meet people, share your space on your terms, and bring in extra income without a full-time commitment. Then there's the option of partnering with someone, maybe a trusted family member or a younger investor. You bring your experience and savings, and they bring energy and time. Together, you build something. That kind of collaboration can take pressure off and allow you to enjoy the benefits of real estate without handling everything alone. And let's not forget one of the most overlooked strategies: downsizing with intention. Selling your current home, buying a smaller one, and using the extra money to purchase a small rental property. It's a way to simplify your life while still investing in your future. less space to manage, more income to enjoy. What matters most is that whatever step you take, it fits your lifestyle and your comfort level. No two retirements are the same, and there is no one-size-fits-all answer. Some people want to be hands-on. Others want something that runs quietly in the background. Both approaches are valid. The key is choosing with care and purpose. One thing I want to make clear is that you don't have to know everything to get started. You just need to be willing to learn. Read a little each week. Talk to someone with experience. Ask questions, even the simple ones. The more you understand, the more confident you'll feel. And that confidence is what turns ideas into action. I've met people who started investing at 65 and by 70 were living off rental income with more peace of mind than they ever imagined. It's not about being fast. It's about being thoughtful and trusting that it's still possible to build something meaningful, even in this season of life. And yes, there will be bumps. Every journey has them. But those bumps often come with lessons, and the lessons lead to growth. You are not too old. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be to begin something new. If real estate is something you're considering, take this video as a gentle nudge forward, a reminder that opportunity still knocks, even after retirement. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be intentional. And if you're already investing, or if you've had experiences good or challenging, please share them in the comments. Your wisdom might just light the way for someone else who's on the fence. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Join us here at Elderly Treasures, where we talk about real solutions for real lives. We're a community that believes retirement should be rich not just in money, but in meaning, connection, and joy. And don't forget to like and share this video. You never know who might need to hear these words today. It could be the encouragement they've been waiting for. Your story is still being written. And investing in real estate before retirement, it could be one of the best chapters yet. So go forward with confidence, curiosity, and a little spark of hope. You've got more power than you think in.